Welcome back. Well, our Elvis show continues. I've been excited about this episode for a while. And before we chat with the man who played Elvis, I just mentioned Austin Butler a few minutes ago. Here's a little bit more of Austin becoming Elvis. Look.
Get a haircut, buttercup!
In that moment, I watched that skinny boy transform into a superhero.
Well, you may go to college, you may go to school, you may have a pink Cadillac, but don't you make nobody's fool now, baby. Come back, baby, I wanna play house with you. You wanna play house?
What all that? The wiggle. The what? Them girls won't see you wiggle. Move, man.
It's sad this audience doesn't do that. Mel will later, yeah. That's Austin Butler, and critics have been saying for weeks he really owned the Elvis role. Recently, I chatted with Austin about what it was like to take on such a legend. Take a look.
Hey, Jason,
hi, Austin. How are you?
I'm
good, buddy. How are you? Good to see you.
Very well. I'm here in Memphis. It just feels so magical getting to be here.
I was going to say, you know, I was talking to one of your castmates, and I said I had the unique opportunity to spend a day with Priscilla because I was moderating a Q&A with her in her national tour. And I was saying that I kept describing her as, and it's such a simplistic word, but lovely. And I just, and how would you describe her yourself?
Lovely is a great word.
Isn't that a good word? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good word. She's so gentle and lovely and kind. And I also use the word ethereal. You know, she has that very angelic quality that I was with her last night, and I'm always mesmerized. You know, when I look in her eyes, I almost can't look away, you know. Yeah, she's awesome.
What part of Elvis was the hardest nut for you to crack as far as forming him? Because it's pretty well known that you did years of research, but what was the hardest era of Elvis for you to wrap your brain around?
It was, I think, I mean, I can't think of it in terms of an era necessarily. It was how it all fits together, and how you know, it's tricky in the beginning to strip away all those misconceptions and the icon or the caricature of Elvis. Because we've all seen people do Elvis impressions or whatever that thing is. And so for me, it was really becoming intensely fascinated with who is he when nobody's looking? And how does that evolve over the years? How does he spiritually evolve over those years? How does his hopes and dreams, how do they evolve? And feeling that in a subjective manner. That was really the fascinating thing, because everything moves out of that. It's his spirit making him move the way that he does on stage, or whatever those things are.
I have just a few seconds. First day on the set, you talked about spiritual. Your first appearance as Elvis was spiritual as an audience goer. What was that like for you?
It was very spiritual. It was the very first performance I did was 68 Special. And it's one of the most iconic moments in rock and roll history. And suddenly, after a year and a half of preparation, here's the moment of truth. I got to get out there and do this in front of cameras. And I felt so much responsibility and weight, and what comes with that is fear. And I felt like everything was on the line. The film, my career, my life. And I was in the dressing room beforehand with the knowledge that everything was on the line for Elvis. This was his comeback special. This is the moment where his career is as a musician is completely on the line. And so I could take all of that and go out there. And by the time that I got out on stage and I felt the music and I felt the genuine emotion from the crowd and saw one girl blush and another girl smile and a guy rocking out, all of that, and then looking down and seeing the leather on my arms and the rings on my fingers and the guitar and the stage and everything being identical to what he was seeing, it felt like I was looking out of his eyes. And I felt like I was feeling exactly what he was. It was like this merge to where I didn't feel like I was making a movie at all. And that's a complete out-of-body experience that is very spiritual. It was, I will never forget what that felt like. It was incredible.
Well, as an audience member, I'll never forget it. Continued success, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Just think about it. We got to take a break, but I told the audience, I'm like, listen to this. Think about that. The guy, his first appearance as Elvis on the set in front of the crew is one of the most monumental moments in Elvis's career. That's pressure unlike any pressure we'll feel. When we come back, I spent a day with Priscilla Presley a few years ago. My conversation with Elvis's wife when we return. Back in a moment.